Ukrainian forces are rapidly recapturing huge swathes of land in the eastern regions, including Kharkiv Oblast, as they continue to launch Russian armored vehicles and a military base where enemy soldiers were residing in Kharkiv Oblast. As of operation, and this latest video serves as further evidence of the scale of their success. Aerial reconnaissance of the State Border Service discovered the concentration of occupiers and their equipment, after which missile strikes were launched. In the video, 2 Russian vehicles can be seen being struck by missiles in quick succession, blowing up before billowing thick white smoke. The footage then cuts to a group of Russian soldiers underneath a metal roof. That location is then bombed with the inhabitants presumed dead, part of their counteroffensive. The city is located towards the bottom of Ukraine. It is of huge strategic significance because it is situated next to a vital crossing point across the Dnipro River into Russian-occupied territory. Russia has been attempting to use this point to transport its forces into Ukrainian territory, replenishing dwindling soldiers and weaponry. Ukraine has been targeting the bridge across the Dnipro nearby Kherson to prevent these crossings. In the latest round of strikes, the Southern Command of the Ukrainian Armed Forces claimed their aircraft had hit 6 targets in the area. Meanwhile, the United States is preparing a new $1.1 billion, £997 million, weapons package for Ukraine that will be announced soon, U.S. officials said. The U.S. State Department also said it is now looking to the finance and energy sectors for future sanctions action. The news will be unwelcome for Vladimir Putin as domestic protests against his mass mobilization announcement continue to jeopardize the war effort. Vladimir Putin is throwing inexperienced soldiers onto the battlefield in Ukraine following his call to mobilize hundreds of thousands of Russian men, some without any prior military experience. Inexperienced Russian troops have crashed 2 tanks on their way to the front line, according to Ukraine's general staff. The incident seems to point to the level of experience Putin's newly mobilized soldiers will be bringing to the fight in Ukraine. Ukrainian soldiers have repelled several significant Russian assaults in the Donetsk region as well as in the south of Ukraine. And out of 7 new Russian tanks en route to the fight in Donetsk, 2 did not make due to an accident. In a Facebook update, Ukraine's general staff said, the adversary continues to direct newly mobilized, low-skilled personnel to the combat areas. On September 26, there were 7 tanks, moving towards the Donetsk region, 2 of which were in an accident while following the group. It added that the tank operators also did not possess the fire training to use of state-of-the-art tank armament. The news seems to confirm what several analysts have predicted, that Putin's use of inexperienced troops to bolster manpower in Ukraine will not likely translate to any advantage on the battlefield. In addition to the tank crash, Ukraine claims to have destroyed 3 Russian anti-aircraft defenses in Zaporizhia as well as command posts and warehouses containing ammunition across the front. Russian troops are reportedly close to being encircled in the town of Lyman in Donetsk, and Moscow losing the town would be another embarrassment for Putin. Think tank The Institute for the Study of War, ASW, pointed to prominent Russian military bloggers who seemed to confirm this information. Russian bloggers and prominent military correspondents claim that Ukrainian troops advanced west, north, and northeast of Lyman and are working to complete the envelopment of Russian troops in Lyman and along the northern bank of the Siversky Donets River in this area. It added, the collapse of the Lyman pocket will likely be highly consequential to the Russian grouping in northern Donetsk and western Luhansk oblasts and may allow Ukrainian troops to threaten Russian positions along the western Luhansk Oblast border and in the Severodonetsk-Lysychansk area. The Severodonetsk-Lysychansk area became the heart of the fighting in Luhansk and was one of the last areas to fall to Russian occupation in the region. Its recapture would be a strategic and morale victory for Ukraine. The General Staff also reported that Moscow had mobilized around 2,000 men from occupied Crimea, which was annexed by Russia in 2014 following an internationally unrecognized referendum.